Russell Davies didn't come back to save Doctor Who. He came back to kill it.
Yep.
To finish it off, to give the killing blow. Because when it was announced that he was coming back, there was a little slither of hope. A little slither of hope that he was going to save what had been tarnished, but he didn't. He wasn't there to save it. He was there to fucking ram the knife in the back and kill it off for good. And what better way to kill it off for good than bring the person that everybody loved the most back to do it with? As a complicit, willing participant.
December the 25th, 2005. The Christmas Invasion may not be an absolute masterpiece of an episode, but it did a fantastic job of reintroducing the idea of regeneration and showcasing the best elements of a new Doctor. David Tennant, for example, in this episode, before he was neutered, challenging the leader of the Sycorax to a sword fight, getting his hand chopped off, growing it back, and clapping back with one of the greatest comebacks in Doctor Who ever.
Witchcraft. Time Lord.
Beats him fairly, warns him never to come back, and the moment his back is turned, the leader of the Sycorax attempts to take his life, and we are then shown, or perhaps the seeds are planted, Time Lord victorious, the self-righteousness, the complete confidence of this Doctor that if you break his word, if you break the trust of this incarnation, he has zero tolerance and zero patience for you, sending him to the earth with a satsuma in his pocket and a cold 1,000-yard stare just to add the little sprinkle of drama. This is how you introduce a new Doctor to a generation. After an absolute disastrous 60th anniversary and relaunch of the Whoniverse, the pressure is on Russell to deliver Ncuti's first episode and perhaps maybe regain some trust. But as a fan base, and judging by the ratings, the decline is already in. The apathy is here, and Ncuti is a dead man walking. So surely the marketing team is going to release something to get the hype up, to generate some kind of momentum for Ncuti's first episode, and maybe, just maybe, regain a little bit of hope, maybe, out of the ashes. The Whovians are essentially on the floor begging for a drop of anything, any crumb. And what do they give us? What's the announcement? The Christmas Invasion, a perfect example of a story treated with respect, treated as an opportunity to garner some attention, to garner some good feedback and some goodwill, a promise to the fans that if they continue with the show, that you would be given more exciting stories, you would be given more Doctor Who. What would any long-term Whovian think when looking at this clip? If you want to torture yourself and listen to the full Goblin song, go right ahead. I'm going to play maybe a little portion of the clip if I can get away with it. The BBC love being on my arse for these videos. What would any fan take away from watching these clips? I know what I'm taking away from these clips. Pure embarrassment to acknowledge that I am a fan of this show and a fan of this franchise. In recent interviews, Russell T Davies has expressed his smugness and the mask has fallen off. Any criticism has been cast aside. And now we understand why Russell's ego is so fickle. Under the facade he is showing on social media, on his petty little Instagram account, we know he is looking at this. Buried under all the ego, we know he sees what we see. He sees a mess. He sees an absolute embarrassment. That's why he's so fickle. That's why he attacks the fans. Christmas Day is an amazing opportunity to possibly fish in some new fans. Everyone's gathering round the telly as a family. Any Whovian gathered round the telly this Christmas, any one of them sat with their family, isn't going to be silly enough to recommend this shit show to their family. Whereas back in 2005, you had the goodwill of Series 1, strongly ending with Christopher Eccleston's great regeneration speech, the momentum of wanting to know what happened next. Who was this skinny man leaking with charisma? Whereas this time he has nothing but bad will. To wrap things up, it's kind of ironic that Disney has a problem with censoring little things on their shows, but has no problem with goblins eating babies. Anyone who keeps up with pop culture and Disney as a whole, you'd probably understand why they don't have a problem with babies being eaten on their television screens. The effects are a joke. The goblins look like Baby Yoda on crack. And to leave you with a good idea of where this show is going and who's in charge, there's no better example than to show you the big fat slap brand that is slapped on the end of this. Because this is no longer Doctor Who. This is Disney Who. Doctor Who is about a mysterious man travelling through time and space. Disney Who is a insult to everything that was Doctor Who. And I, for one, am excited to watch the fucking fire burn. In a couple of years' time, we're going to see Russell T Davies come out and pretend like he doesn't know the reason why the show is dead. But us, as a fan base, the Whovians that left a long time ago, we'll know. And that's what matters. If you enjoyed the video, guys, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.